Welcome to Blue Heron Hill. This is Sue. I forgot to film an intro to this video, so I am going to be putting in a new fall garden here. But first of all, I have to harvest these carrots. And once I get them done, then we'll start talking about more fall gardening. So let's go digging in the dirt. Well, they aren't very big, but I usually don't plant in my gardens carrots that are very long. My beds are short, they aren't that deep. This one was very fluffy. I didn't need anything to pull them out of the ground. These will fit very nicely in a canning jar, and they will go very well in my soups and stews in the winter. Small crop, small in size, but a decent amount. I'm hoping that the other bed that I planted for a fall garden, that I hope will bear some a good quantity in about November, December. Maybe if I can keep them hanging on into December, they should do me very well. So now that I have these all dug up, I'm going to amend this bed so we can get started on a fall crop for some cool, temperature-loving plants like lettuce and spinach. Maybe some beets in here, I'm not sure yet if I have any seeds or not, and radishes, and probably some dwarf kale. So that's what's coming up. So let me get these soaking and washed up, and then we'll get on to preparing this bed for the next crop. A few trays of seedlings that I started indoors. This is cilantro. Hopefully I'll be able to get a nice little crop before it gets too cold. Cilantro does very well in the cooler temperatures, so I want to get those planted. My cilantro always does better when I start it indoors rather than direct planting. I have some lettuce. This, I think, is a red lettuce. Here's another lettuce, and there's some spinach. I'm going to be planting these, and then also I'm going to get some seed and continue with planting in the rows also. This is 4. So, and I want to have 5 rows here. So more than likely, I'm going to plant an entire row of spinach and some by seed that should come up and do very nicely. And I'll have 2 rows of which I'll plant some kale and some beets. So I better get started. It's a pretty warm day today. It's gotten warmer as it goes on. Okay, so let's dig in the dirt. Okay, taking a break in the shade. I just wanted to show you what I'm going to be planting. For beets, this is a favorite of mine and a lot of gardeners. Bull's blood. You can pick them at any stage, and I figure that going into the winter, that these will be good, you know, that I can pick at any stage when I feel the need to have beets. So here's another one, a golden beet. I've never tried this for fall planting, but I usually do it in the spring. But I love golden beets, delicious. So those are beets. More spinach. This is what I put in the ground already. Bloomsdale, long-standing, very good one. This one I found, spinach space hybrid. I must have liked it because there's just a few seeds left in here. We'll give this one a try and see how that turns out for fall gardening. What I have here is some red Russian kale. That should do very well in the cool. And here's a dwarf Siberian kale. And I did grow this before, and it does not get very tall. So that might help in my little fall garden here. So let me get busy throwing some seeds into the ground and maybe give this good water, and then I'll be off to the races. Let's go dig in the dirt. The spinach is a little sparse up through here. Maybe I'll kind of intersperse a few of these here. Maybe even towards the side, and we'll see. Harvest those as little baby greens, as everybody else is growing tall. My soil is very light and fluffy, so I'm really not too worried about planting these at a depth. I'm going to give them I have my drip irrigation here, but I am going to give these a watering with the hose, so they will kind of fall down into the little cracks and the crevices. So that's good. Okay, that's the spinach. And now I have beets, which I think are going to go on that furthest row over there, and then I'm going to have some kale over here. Another thing about beets, which is good, is that you can densely plant them, and then as they're ready, as they're starting to grow, you can thin them and eat the greens and leave the remainder to sprout and grow into the bulby vegetable that we all love. That was the golden beets here, and then I'll do the bull's blood. A quick fall planting here. So next is a nice watering, top watering. The soil is really pretty damp, pretty moist I should say. So it doesn't need much. Just to wet those seeds and get them thinking about germination. Now for a wrap up on this video, fall gardening, and then you could see me harvesting my carrots. I have a green stalk, which is always a wonderful addition for fall gardening. If things get really, really bad, you just wheel it on, weather-wise, wheel it on into the garage. Or I have a greenhouse, I can put it in there, and hopefully I can get some good crops in there. I think I'll plant lettuces and maybe a few kales and spinaches and maybe some more beets in there, and see what I can get. First time with the green stalk, I got it this spring, had very good success with it in you know, growing some lettuces and things like that in it in the springtime. It kind of got too hot for it in the summer, so I kind of let it go. What I do have to do before I replant is I have to revitalize the soil. As the days, weeks, months go on in the summer, the soil level compacts down a little bit. So got to aerate it a little bit. I'm going to take each individual tier off, amend the soils, and fluff them up a bit, and then plop some of my cool weather plants in there and have a go at a little fall gardening / almost winter gardening in my green stalk. So thanks for coming along with me on this video. If you're new, thank you for coming. Subscribe if you haven't, and if you like the content, I'll share, and then comment. Any questions, you know, follow along with me. I'm by no means a total expert on all of this. If you have any tips and tricks for me, I'd be more than happy to entertain. So until the next time that we can go digging in the dirt, happy gardening. Bye.